Welcome back!
Welcome back to the vlog.
Yeah, welcome back to the Cartwrights.
We are doing something really exciting this weekend.
Going on a marriage retreat. We're in South Lake Tahoe, by the way. Benefits of living in California, you could go amazing places. But
We'll show you guys.
one thing that's cool about marriage retreat is that you actually got to be proactive in your marriage rather than reactive.
Wow, that was good.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
He's a keeper, guys. We've been to this retreat once before when we were like a couple months married.
Yeah. And it was like 3 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, and it was really fun. But
And I knew absolutely nothing about marriage. And I still don't know absolutely nothing about marriage. You knew, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had like
I feel
stacks
blessed.
of notes. I had no idea.
Oh, I remember that. We decided since we're going to Tahoe, we might as well go on some hikes. And so we found a hike. That was a big old bus. We found, what was it called?
Cascade Falls.
Cascade Falls in Tahoe. It says it's like 1.4 miles, and so we're gonna do that.
If y'all don't know, we're hikers. I love the outdoors. I love hiking. So I'm excited for this.
And then we wanted to do something cool with this vlog. We want to give something to you guys, whether it's relationship advice, marriage advice. We're also going to be interviewing some of our other married couples from the conference and asking them for marriage advice, relationship advice to give to you guys. It's free. All you have to do is like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Shameless plug.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys on our hike.
Let's go. So you guys may or may not be able to hear us because we just made it to the waterfall. But I'm excited because we're going to try this survival straw. It actually tastes really good.
It's good. It's nice and cold.
What would you rate it?
10 out of 10.
I'll say like 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10.
So we wanted to tell you guys a little bit of how we met before we start giving marriage advice and all that fun stuff. I know a lot of you on here probably already know, but there's some people that don't even know who we are, and so we just kind of wanted to tell our story. And yeah, so I met this dude when I was, I think, 13.
Yeah.
And he was my youth pastor's little cousin, and so they would always invite him to come to church, but he never wanted to actually come in church, but he would go to like all of our fun events and stuff. Fast forward to high school, he ended up coming to our high school junior
Sophomore year.
Yeah, and then during high school we dated other people.
Yeah.
And so we were just friends doing ministry together, and it's kind of cool because I got to see Shane before he was saved, and then Shane after he got saved at camp, and then started helping with Faith Club at the school and watching that grow. And it's just really cool because I remember those moments like super clear. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, I remember all that
much
stuff.
about me though.
So we kind of were always around each other, but we never, you know, she had a boyfriend, I had a girlfriend, so we never really had time to even talk, really.
Yeah. And I was so shy.
Even when we were at her house, like we just like passed by each other, didn't really say much, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy when you look back, and yeah, it's just weird to think. I never would have thought I'd be with Shane. And then fast forward, I moved to San Diego, went to college for 2 years. And then I had broken up with the boyfriend that I had at that time. And then, sure enough, this dude slid into my DMs. And I was so surprised. I remember I was with my best friend, Emily. I remember he texted me, and he said something like, "You're so beautiful," or something like that.
I don't remember.
I forget what you said, I was dying. I was like, oh my gosh, Shane thinks I'm pretty. So moral of the story, San Diego, thank you, you did me well.
Yeah. We dated for 4 years, but before we even got together, we fasted and prayed for like a week. And the only reason I did that is because I have once I got radically saved, I gave my life to Jesus at 17 years old. My dream has always been to preach and to be a full-time evangelist. That's always been my dream since then. And my calling means so much to me that I was scared to take a step of faith. Or maybe somebody is in that kind of position right now where like you feel like there's such a calling on your life. Maybe it's a career path or something, maybe nursing or whatever it is. And you're afraid to take a step into a relationship because you know that relationships, they carry with them a lot of effort, a lot of time. Building a relationship is not easy. So for me, I was thinking of all these things, plus I'm thinking long term, like, God, how am I gonna fulfill my calling while investing so much into a relationship as well? But one thing that I learned is that the vision that I had for my life was so small that I thought that I could do it myself. And it wasn't until that we began to build a relationship with Brooke that I figured, you know what, my dream needs to be expanded. Fasting and that praying was such a crucial part before we even got together. I wanted to know and I wanted to make sure I was making the right move.
But anyway, so yeah, we dated for 4 years. This dude finally proposed. I almost left him because he was taking a little bit there.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I wasn't gonna leave you. But yeah, I remember our proposal. He proposed to me in Yosemite National Park, and he invited like all my friends and family out. I was in the bathroom. I told him I had to go to the bathroom, but I didn't. And so I stood in the stall, and I just said, God, I said, if you say no right now, I won't walk down there. Like, I'll literally turn back and just go. And then I said, but if you say yes, like, give me peace right now. And you guys, I felt this crazy peace just come over me, like my whole body. And I felt so confident in that moment and like, yes, this is it. And the same thing happened on our wedding day.
Yeah.
When I was in the shower, I asked God again. I said, God, are you sure? Because I'll do whatever you want. And it happened again that day. And it's just cool how God will speak to you in moments like that. And it's not like he said anything, but it was just that small little like, yes,
Yeah.
you can do it. But yeah, so we've almost been married for 4 years.
Next month.
And yeah, that's pretty much our story.
Well, with all that being said, we're gonna go finish up here. I think we're gonna I'm gonna fly my drone a little bit and maybe take a little hike. I don't know, but we'll see you guys in a little bit.
And
what are we doing next? Yeah.
Today's our first official day for the marriage conference. It starts around like 3.
She's doing sign-ups. I'm gonna go help park cars, whatever. But
yes. And I gotta help with worship, so I'm about to go practice some songs really quick.
And actually, I'm starving right now, so we're probably gonna get something to eat too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then we're gonna go meet up with our friends, and yeah.
And that's a wrap. Good. About to hit up some lunch before the conference. Gotta meet up with everybody. Oh, we're lost. GPS doesn't know what we're doing. So do you feel like you have the music down?
I hope so. I had to transpose every single song, so I did everything last minute.
The best marriage advice you have.
Oh.
The newly married.
Happy wife, happy life.
So I've been promoted to sound equipment technician / PowerPoint technician.
What?
Quick. I bring her flowers, and I love it.
I love
And I'm telling you, as a married couple, from experience, been around a while, watch for the petals to fall. You don't have to do flowers. You can do little love notes. Or just say, I'm sorry. Ladies, don't take your husband for granted. They work hard. They do. Sometimes we get the point saying, well, you're the provider, that's what you're supposed to do. Nah. Same thing with the husbands. I have no idea how hard it is to be a mom and a wife. I don't. I'm learning the little pieces of it with April. But I promise you, this is what it'll look like. I promise you. I promise you. You don't fix it, shame on you. Because God wants the best for you. Come on. Every day.
Best marriage tip.
Forgive.
Forgive.
Yes.
That's a good one.
What is your best marriage advice?
In the middle of an argument, stop and just hug her.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, that is good because honestly, a gentle answer turns away wrath. So it'll take one person to kind of put out that fire because it takes two to fight.
Somebody has
yeah.
to drop the pride.
Yeah, pride. Very true. Humble
That's
yourself.
all it is.
I think just be gracious to one another and remember how God has forgiven us. We should do that for each other and prefer each other. Like if you always wake up in the morning and say, how can I make my husband's life easier? How can I be a blessing to him? And just really be a helper and
That is so good.
yeah,
So
I need to follow my own advice. I need to. What I'm saying is, I need to be better at, but I believe it with all my heart. And one of the number one things too, I think, probably that trumps almost everything, is your spouse is not your enemy. The enemy is your enemy.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, just look at your spouse like God with skin on, and then love him like Jesus. And yeah, fight the enemy. Don't fight your spouse, because that's really.
And don't forget to bring flowers all the time.
Oh
all
yeah,
the time.
you got that from Bob.
Especially when the petals are falling.
Dude, that's really good.
Bob. Yeah.
Love is in the air. Love is everywhere. Cookie Monster owner.
At the Baked Bear sandwich shop.
It says,
Sandwich cookie shop.
life is short.
Eat cookies.
Life is short. Eat cookies. So you basically, you get to pick your own ice cream and cookies.
Pick your, oh, they have a cookie place.
So you make your own. You make your own.
Cookie
what is it
ice
called?
cream sandwich. It's like
Yeah.
an ice cream.
Let's look at this.
Get that one.
Show them your creation.
It's day 2 of marriage XOXOXO. And we just got here and we just parked in a
No parking
no
zone.
parking zone, so
Because there's
towed.
67 couples that decided to show up. So.
And there's like no parking anywhere. So it's really fun.
What's up, bro? Yeah. I know, man. What's up?
We're about to have our morning service
What's up?
and then we're gonna do worship and then the message and then lunch and then free time and then another message and then we go home tonight.
Yep.
So yeah.
It's be a long day. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be good. Beautiful views, beautiful people.
Yes.
Wow. Let's get it. tired and we got to drive home tonight, but worth it. Hashtag worth it. All right, what's up, guys? We just got back from the marriage conference. So we're gonna give you guys some marriage tips in 3 minutes.
Yeah, so tip number 1, we think that it is really important to invest into your marriage, and that is why we go on these marriage conferences, because we really truly believe that it makes both of us better people at the end of it. And yeah, we just want to invest any little things that we can, even daily, weekly, monthly, just constantly like igniting the flame into our marriage. And
because that's exactly what marriage is. Marriage is an investment.
yes, it is. In a positive way, it is an investment.
Yeah.
So tip number 2.
Tip number 2.
Tip number 2 is men and women have different brains, and we realized at the marriage conference that a lot of people didn't know about this. So some of you might know that men have boxes and women have like endless wires, like a kind of like a spaghetti brain, if you would picture it like that, where we can multitask and do like a million things at one time, which guys absolutely love that about us.
Nah.
Whereas men are in one box at one time, and it's very hard for them to like switch boxes as fast as we women want them to. And so that is where communication comes in. And communication is something that is difficult in relationships, because I really believe it's because we have different brains. Once we come to that understanding that our brains are so different, it makes it a lot easier in, honestly, in any relationship that you're in.
Yeah.
Even friendships, marriage, dating relationship, just knowing how to communicate good and figuring it out is really important to do as a married couple.
In the marriage conference, they did say 2 things that are most common in arguments in a marriage are finances and lack of communication. So learning how your spouse thinks and how they communicate is very important. Like I know for men, I know if women, if we're out doing something, like maybe we're changing a tire on a car or working or playing a game or whatever it is, and wives, when you go to tell your husbands like something really important, probably get them out of that box before you start telling them something, because then like Saturday rolls around and we were supposed to go to the party and we're like, what party? I didn't know that there was a party. So.
And he brings that up because that happens to us.
All the time. But
it's not going to happen anymore, because
she even has
I'm
a calendar.
trying to be better at understanding his brain.
Yeah. I look at the calendar and I just get like overwhelmed, and I'm like, that's way too much. She's like a month out in planning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to eat today.
If I like don't get stuff out of my brain, I feel like I'm gonna go crazy.
Number 2, communication.
Yeah, communication, different brains. Number 3, keep dating each other and keep speaking life over each other.
Yeah.
It's so important to not speak negatively to each other and point out like everything that they do wrong all the time, and like nag and all these things that our human flesh wants to do. So yeah, it's just important to constantly be thinking about, what can I do for this person, like how can I make their day. Maybe it's like planning a date, planning something that they really enjoy, and yeah, just doing like all those little things that you used to do while you were dating.
One thing too, it doesn't have to be like super expensive. Like if you're balling out on a budget, go for a hike, like do something that's like inexpensive. Just spending quality time with each other is super important, and I think even us, like we could work on things like that too. But
yeah, we can. We're definitely not perfect in all of these areas, but
not at all.
The cool thing about marriage conferences is they really make you like examine yourself and examine the way that you think and the way that you do things, and trying to like break those generational curses too, of like how your parents did things maybe, or people you looked up to where you're like, I don't know if I want that in my marriage.
And that's one thing too cool about marriage, is that like no matter how you grew up, you have a clean slate. Like you have the opportunity to create your own family and your own life. Like me and her can't be like, our families can't be like more different, just for the fact like my parents divorced when I was like 8 years old, and I just grew up in a very unhealthy situation. So. And
then I grew up in a stick it out no matter what situation.
Yeah.
And also I do want to add into, if you have messed up on these things, like don't beat yourself up. you can start new every single day. And don't think like your marriage is just done and you just mess up so bad that there's like no return.
Right.
I just want to encourage you guys that tomorrow's a new day, so you can start over.
Have grace for each other.
Yes.
Give each other room to grow. I don't know where the time is right now, but
We're way over time. Also, one thing I just wanted to recap on, that scene of Bob and Ellen talking about the flowers. I thought it was really cool, and it made me think of like, there's things in every marriage, I feel like, that might be dead. Things that we don't tend to. We kind of just push away or just ignore it because we don't want to bring it up, or we don't want to like deal with the conflict at all. So with the flower analogy, if you know that the flowers are dead, like you know that something in your marriage is dead, my advice to you would be to water it as soon as you can and not wait like months and months and years, and then your marriage just literally is just dying right in front of you.
Yeah.
And I would just say put in the work, it's worth it. Invest, encourage each other, be each other's biggest cheerleader, recognize that our brains are completely different. Speak life over each other. Obviously we learned a lot more from the marriage conference, but those are just some main things that we thought would be like an overall help to whoever's watching. And we hope that you guys were encouraged and enjoyed our little TED Talk. Sorry that we didn't keep it under 3 minutes, but for those of you that are still watching, you guys are the real deal, and we appreciate you and we love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. On that note,
Cartwrights
Cartwrights
out.
Peace.